What is up, you guys? Welcome to my personal channel. My name is Spencer, and this week we are discussing all things testosterone. So this is going to be a very informational video. I'm going to try to keep it as basic and condensed as possible, so forgive me if I do speak really fast. But this week we are going to talk about the different routes that testosterone can be taken, the different kinds that are out there in the United States, and the pros and cons of each. Also, at the end of this video, I will show you how I give myself an IM injection of T. So first, I'm going to talk about the least common to the most known and discuss the pros and cons of each. Alright, first we have the TestoPel, or testosterone pellets. What this is a pellet that is inserted subdermally or under the skin and is absorbed through the muscle over a course of a week. Roughly, they insert up from 16 to 20 pellets, and it regularly distributes testosterone to the body. So the pros of this is if you have shot anxiety or if you are forgetful, it takes all the responsibility off of you. The pellets are inserted by a doctor and in a procedure, as an outpatient procedure, and you don't have to worry about anything. You know that everything is going to be fine and well and regulated, and you just change them out every 4 to 6 months, and you're good to go. Another pro of this is one of the fastest ways of getting testosterone. Intramuscular injection or intramuscular absorption of any kind is actually the fastest route of getting T into the bloodstream. The cons of TestoPel or testosterone pellets is that 1, it is not covered by insurance. Unless your gender marker is changed to male, testosterone pellets will not be covered by your insurance, which means you will have to pay for this out of pocket. Roughly, 1 pellet costs about $300, and you insert about 16 to 20 depending on your dosage and the amount of time you've been on T. With that being said, you're looking into the thousands when it comes to inserting this thing, and you have to change them every 4 to 6 months. So when you do your cost analysis, be sure you look at it over a span of a year, not just one application. Another con about this is that it is kind of painful. It is an outpatient procedure where they are making an incision, usually in the butt, where they insert 16 pellets in. You roughly need 48 hours to recover from this, so it does have a little bit of pain aspect to it when it comes to the pellets. So that is TestoPel, or testosterone pellets. The pros is the fastest way of absorption, as well as it being alleviating any shot anxiety or if you are forgetful, because you don't have to worry about doing anything. Cons is it's very expensive, and it is an outpatient procedure, so you have to give yourself some time to recover from it. The second way to get testosterone here in the States is known as transdermal, or androgel, or testo cream, or any type of creams or gels that have testosterone in it. This is another valid way to start hormone replacement therapy. And the pros with this is that it alleviates shot anxiety because you don't have to give yourself any type of injection. It's just a gel or a cream that you rub on certain parts of your body. Another pro is that it's actually comparable to the IM injections, which is the most common way of getting testosterone here in the States, and it also is the least expensive. So it is comparable in price to that. A con with this is that it does carry the risk of cross-contamination via contact. So when you put it on your body, you have to be very careful where you put it and when you put it on. You don't want people touching your body if you have it on them. If you have it on, because it takes roughly 15 minutes for transdermal applications to absorb through the skin, which means that they may also get a dose of testosterone when they didn't want to or didn't mean to. So you have to be careful when you put it on and where you put it on. Another thing is that these gels and creams, roughly you have to take them every day. So if you are forgetful, this will have to be a time that you allot out of your day every day to make sure you're receiving a regular amount of your dose. Another con, and probably the biggest thing for me, is that transdermal applications of any kind, so anything that's being absorbed through your skin, is the slowest rate of absorption, which means it will take a longer time for you to see changes. Now, you are still getting changes, you are still getting testosterone, you are still on hormone replacement therapy. It's just going to take a longer time for you to see the changes, as opposed to someone who does subdermal, which is what the TestoPel was, or IM injections. The pros with this is shot anxiety is completely eliminated, and it's cost effective. But the cons is that you have to remember to take it every day. It does come with that fear of cross-contamination via contact, and it is the slowest route of absorption, meaning it's going to take a longer time for you to see changes. The third way to get testosterone here in the States is known as subcutaneous injections or sub-Q shots. So subcutaneous means in the fat, which means it's going to be administered the same way someone who has diabetes and gives himself insulin injections. It's going to be in the stomach. The pros to this is that it has a shorter length in the needle. Where an IM is 1.5 inches, this one is about 5/8 to 3/4. So you don't have to worry. If you do have shot anxiety and it's mild, it's easily controlled because the needle isn't as daunting as you would say your IM shot would be. Another pro to this is it also is comparable in price when it comes to IM injections, and some insurances do cover it. So sub-Q is definitely a route to take if you are fearful of needles. It is least painful because since the needle length is smaller, there's no risk of you nicking nerves or veins, because when you do sub-Q in the fat, there are no nerves or veins. So it definitely can alleviate some of that psychological distress that you may have when it comes to shots. A con of this is subcutaneous injections of any sort is the second slowest absorption time. So it is going to take a longer time for you to notice changes. You are still getting testosterone, changes are still happening, and this is still a valid form of HRT, it is just slower. So the pros of subcutaneous shots is a smaller needle to alleviate some of that shot anxiety, and the con is that it is a slower rate. And lastly, we have the most common known way of getting injection here in the States, which is known as IM injections or intramuscular injections. Now, the pro of IM injections is that some insurances do cover it, especially if your insurance covers GID, gender identity disorder, or trans-related HRT. So it is covered by insurance. It is the fastest way of getting, it has the fastest absorption time, which means it takes less time to notice changes, and it is also very comparable in price, as well as it has a lot of GoodRx deals or other types of websites/apps that show you any type of deals when it comes to obtaining it. Now, testosterone without insurance for a 4 to 6 month supply, depending on your dose, is roughly $90. That's from Stroh Hackers. That's a quote from them, so it's roughly $90. Also, apps such as GoodRx will have it for $40 for a 4 to 6 month supply. So compared to the TestoPal, which is $1,500 every 4 to 6 months, this one is $40 every 4 to 6 months. Insurance that covers it, it runs roughly $7, depending on your insurance, obviously, but the most I've heard is $7, and the least is $350. The cons of this is that it is a long needle. It's about 1.5 inches, and the gauge is pretty thick, anywhere from 20 to 25 gauge, which means width of the needle. So those are the pros and cons to all the different types of ways of getting testosterone here in the States. If you do have any questions or want me to go a little bit more in depth with it, please just hit me up and let me know. I wanted to keep it as basic as possible, but as you do know, I do have a Bachelor's of Science in Chemistry as well as my EMT certification, so I can discuss a little bit about absorption and how the body processes things through the different ways it's administered. So if you have any questions about that, hit me up and I'll give you more info. And now I will show you how I give myself my IM intramuscular shot. Alright, so first I have all my supplies ready. I like to line mine up in the order that I do everything, just because that's how my brain works. But what you need is hand sanitizer, alcohol wipes, your testosterone, and I'll explain what this thing on top of it is, your needle, or your syringe, sorry, your needle that you're going to be injecting with, another alcohol wipe, and a Band-Aid. I also have a Hershey bar because I do sometimes get shot anxiety, and I have an award system where when I do my shot, I get a Hershey bar. So that's kind of how I have everything set up. The first thing you want to do is wash your hands or use hand sanitizer. I am lazy, so I use hand sanitizer. Of course, you want to make sure you rub it in until it is dry. So that's like 10 or 15 seconds, I don't know. Dry. Next, you want to sterilize your testosterone. So a lot of people you see, they have a, they wipe the little silver top of it for 15 seconds. Here I have what's known as MAD, which is a medical administration device, where this top is actually where my syringe is going to attach as opposed to a needle to draw it up. This is what most people have for their testosterone. You see right there, that gray area is known as the puncture point where you would draw up the T. As you see, I have my MAD on it, which means medical assisting device. So I have this device on it, so there's already a spike in there that helps me draw up the T, where this one doesn't. So if you are drawing up with this, you would use a needle and insert it in your little puncture spot. I don't know if you can just get this anywhere, because I work where I work as an EMT and a vet. At the vet, I can get these, but I don't know if anyone can get these. But that's what this is, and that's why it looks a little different. So, you take your alcohol swab, and you want to clean either the tip where you're going to insert your needle, or for me, the nozzle that I'm going to draw it out of. Next, you have your needle. This is a 1 cc syringe. Or next you have your syringe, sorry. This is a 1 cc syringe. So what you see most guys do is they have an 18 gauge needle attached to their syringe, which they have to stick through the gray puncture pad on top of their testosterone to draw it out. Because I have a MAD, which is a medical administrative device, I don't have to do that. All I have to do is, here's my syringe, here's my device, is screw it on. So there is no needle in it, as you saw, but I just have to screw it on, and then you draw out. I give myself 0.4 cc's or 0.4 milliliters every week. So this is 0.4 of T. Next, you want to attach your needle. And there's my loaded dose of T. Alright, so I made sure I wore a decent boxer for you guys. So this muscle right here is called the rectus femoris, which ranges from about right here to right here. So you have a big real estate to work with. So I actually go a little bit to the left of the median line. So I'm actually a little lateral than I am of my medial line. So here we go. You want to take your other alcohol swab and clean the area. I use wide circles just so I have a lot to work with. You want to uncap your needle. This is the length of a 1 inch 22 gauge. So I don't know how to do this without blocking it, so I guess I'm going to do it with my right. I'm left-handed, so hopefully I don't fuck up, but what people can do is some people pinch the area, some people leave it alone, and some people pull it taut. I pull it taut. I don't think it really matters. It just has to do with preference. And you want to take a couple of breaths and then just give yourself your shot. You want to go fast down or slow down. Make sure your needle is all the way in. So as you see, my needle is all the way in. And the thing that I'm going to do is called aspirating the needle, which means I'm going to pull back on the plunger and make sure that I don't get any blood return. If I do, that means that I hit a vein. So I pull back, I got nothing but bubbles. Great, so now I'm just going to inject. All my tea is injected, so I'm just going to pull straight out. And I'm going to toss this away in my... Don't recap, guys, don't do what I'm doing. But I'll toss it away in my medical waste thing. And then I'm going to apply pressure. If you notice any leakage of tea, do not worry. What leaks out is actually not significant. It's actually pretty negligible when it comes to your actual dose. Alright, so you saw how I gave my shot. I hope you guys are having a great day and gearing up for an even better weekend. I hope you guys have had a great start of your new year. It is Sunday. It's Spencer. Until next time.